Champions, but he comes here, of course, as a tournament winner. And Mark Selby, you know one thing with him, he will always be immaculately prepared for any tournament. Yet to really get firing this season, but he hasn't played in that much so far. Just one thing to say about Gilbert this season, the scoring power has been very impressive. 19 centuries. So that's a joint top of the list with Mark Allen. So he followed up that Championship League win. He's gone deep in a couple of other tournaments, played a lot of snookers, matched sharp. And of course, Allen, he practices with Selby as well. So as Neil was saying, any sort of fear factor won't be there.
No, not at all. Nothing to fear for Dave Gilbert, who, for me, has been the player of the season so far. Deep runs and a few, lifting a title to boot. What's he got for us then? Having a go. Long red. Yeah, okay. Only red he could leave was that one. It's going to be a fascinating encounter, I think, this one. I also think Dave there, I'm not saying the conditions won't suit Mark Selby, any conditions suit this guy, but the way that Dave, that feathery touch when he's in and around the scoring area, super slick, this cloth. That'll suit both players down to the ground.
Bit of a mixed bag for Selby in the Champion of Champions. He's played in all of them. 2 semi-finals, 2 first-round defeats and 4 quarter-finals. So yet to reach the final of this tournament. Did make a 147, of course, 3 years ago.
Just off straight in this red. If he wishes, he can top this through up for blue or bolt colour. One. The other thing I think about Dave Gilbert, he looks like he feels he belongs in this company, and it takes you a while. He's been around the block as a professional snooker player for many years now, but it's just been that last 3 or 4 years where he's really came to prominence, and he, as I say, he thinks that he deserves to be in this company, and that's important.
Yeah, he's a very elegant player, I think, when he's playing his best snooker. And he does definitely look more confident having won that trophy. Because of the vagaries of the rankings, he actually dropped out the top 16 because big points had come off from 2 years ago, in particular the semis of the World Championship. So he's actually 22 in the world. But as Alan said, on this season, he's one of the best players. On the 1 year list, he's 5th. So he'll definitely be in that World Grand Prix. And of course, then he's eyeing the Players' Championship and the Tour Championship as part of the Kazoo Series. And if he can get into those, he gets ranking points, and that's a good chance of getting back in the 16.
He had a couple of looks at the pink to left mid, but it's not the easiest shot this, especially first up, to get the pace if he plays for that pink. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes deep and back up for blue. Yeah. It wasn't easy
13.
to land on a sixpence for the pink there, so. Well, this is a tough one. Oh, well played. Very good. And no hesitation at all in playing it. I think he may have just released the black to the right corner.
19.
It's a good early sign because that was a pressure ball, but he didn't play it like that. He got down and played it very confidently.
Yeah, this is one occasion where if he plays the left red on the left corner where the cloth is so fast it actually becomes a wee bit more difficult to hold the cue ball. Yeah, he just didn't have a
20.
line there. He knew that was going to happen before he played it. That's a smart shot.
Dave Gilbert, 20.
You'd normally think there maybe cue ball in behind green, but right wing's not the place for the cue ball. Give Mark a problem on the left half, and he has done. It's the shape of the reds that's all important when you pick your spot up there, and he's picked the correct one. See, the thing is here, if Mark leaves the cue ball down this end, there's every chance Dave can then attack the green on his next safety shot.
Foul. And a
Do
miss.
you know what? Mark Selby, he'll know about that. He'll have seen it,
Dave Gilbert,
obviously.
4.
That's why he thought, let's have a little gamble here and play almost to miss the red and hope we clip it thin.
One.
Oh, that'll do, lovely. So, battle number 1 goes to the farmer. But it was all about the way that he played the yellow, and the correct side of the table has earned him this chance.
Three. Four.
Gilbert won the last meeting between them in Belfast a few weeks ago, but prior to that, the big two meetings immediately before that were both won by Selby, both on one table. The English Open final 9-1, which was a total drubbing. He played so well, Selby. And then Scottish Open 6-1 in the semis. And that was just after Gilbert had beaten Trump, and you'd be very disappointed. And of course, what links the two is they're both on one table, as this is, so nothing else happening around it, no other tables. It is a slightly different feeling, I think.
10. $11.
Yeah, worth the gamble here. Just release those two reds. Just a little punch cannon. Just release the two of them. There. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, it's gone wrong. Yeah, he can't really legislate
17.
for that. I suppose if you're being hypercritical, he should have cannoned the low one of the two. Yeah. It was the correct shot, so you can live with that. Once again here, you'd probably favour the left half of the table. You know, tracking in behind green, if you don't get it, Mark's got an out. That's clever. Keep the left half of the brown spot. Brilliant.
David Gilbert, 17.
Mark Selby's had so many players in this sort of position over the years on that cushion, and he's found himself there several times already with not much to go at.
Yeah, this is all systems go, going for the pot. Cue ball through the gap.
One. Five.
Oh, that was sweet as a bun. That'll secure the frame, I've no doubt this time. Cue ball on a button as well.
Well, he's done two things. One, he's kept Selby out very efficiently. Two,
12.
when he's come to the table, he's made the most of things. I know he went wrong earlier, but played the good safety.
13.
Forced Selby into going for that long red, and now looking to kill things off. He needs pink and red to win the opening frame.
$19.
This is a very good start from David Gilbert, who looks bang up for this today.
Yeah, isn't it good to see a player who all the other guys on
26.
the tour and around the tour knew for years about his potential? Isn't it good to see him fulfil some of that?
Would have liked that in, because I think
Gilbert,
Selby will
26.
play on, and you know we know what he can do. Cause a few problems. That red goes in, then it's frame over for sure. 67 the difference, 59 on. Well,
One.
gonna have to pop the pink here.
Mark Selby 1.
So 66 in it, 51 on. No way back, even for him. Mark Selby this time stays in his seat. Well, Gilbert all round was very impressive in that first frame, particularly in keeping Mark Selby out. So it is David Gilbert who leads here in Bolton by a frame to nil.
More great drama. That's a big tick from me. Trust a Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustATrader.com.
Welcome back to day 3 of the Kazoo Champion of Champions here in Bolton, where Dave Gilbert's made a very good start against Mark Selby.
The second
Best of
frame.
7, winner plays Sean
Mark
Murphy or
Selby
Yan
for break.
Bingtao tonight. I guess Selby's problem here is Gilbert will have benefited from long practice sessions with him. He would have learned a lot from playing Selby. It was a very nice interview Stephen Hendry did with Mark Selby at his house that we've been showing over the last few days, and just see the pride he has, quite rightly, in his achievements. He's got that Roll of Honour on his wall, reminding him of his great successes at the Crucible.
Yeah, that was a poor one. He got second prize there. I don't think the red near right middle is really on. So he's dodged one there as David. Got to get this half ball. Don't want to be messing with that red on the right wing. It'll be quite a thick contact. Good shot. This guy is the best in the business at this shot, let me tell you. He will not be hitting this one thick. He's going out on a limb, but he will not hit that thick. You stand here for a month of Sundays and it ain't going to happen. Brilliant. Good shot. But a half chance for Dave, tracking green. Almost playing a cannon on the green here with this cue ball. Yeah, just a touch on the thick side. Yeah, the only thing with this lone red that Mark's playing, he's going to have to play it with a lot of left-hand check. So the cue ball's going to go towards the green pocket. So he can't play this for any cover. Because plain ball is a double kiss. He's got to check it. A little bit of left-hand side. See, he couldn't get it central, which gives Dave a half chance to play a telling safety shot. And as professional snooker players do, they oblige. See, that's the trouble. There's patterns of safety play that happen and you think, well, I'm okay, I've got him, not leaving him anything. But when you leave him a chance of playing in behind, excuse me, brown or green there, invariably they do find it.
Wow, and a miss.
Incredible, isn't it? To somehow find
David
the gap
Gilbert
there.
four.
It seems harder to do than to hit one.
You should almost get a prize for that one. Back it goes. Surely can't do it a second time. But what he's doing here, the two reds that are together, he can't miss those to the left or cannon them on the left because of the possible red to left middle.
Okay, Dave.
That's why he's sort of flirting with that gap.
Foul and a miss. Dave Gilbert, 4.
In a way, it just sums up the way it's gone for Selby so far. Everything is tough, and he's been made tough by his opponent. Got him firmly on the back foot in the early stages here.
There was an unexpected error. But you're right, Dave, yeah, he's been bossing everything, every department so far. It's David.
1.
Well, many of us remember being at the Crucible when he lost that semi-final to John Higgins 2 years ago, and it wasn't just him who was in tears. I can assure you, Rob Walker had gone, everyone had gone backstage, because it was a 3-day match, 4 sessions. He was so close to getting to the final, and he was so down on himself, talking about, I'll never win anything and all the rest of it, and you couldn't help but feel for him. And that's why, as Alan said, everyone was so happy when he did pick up silverware earlier this year.
Yeah, I met him the next morning at stage door, and I don't mind telling you, I was feeling pretty emotional, just saying, trying to commiserate with him a little. And fabulous tournament he had, wasn't it? Well,
8.
He started this tournament nicely. Giving himself a bit of a problem. The green, alright, it's not really in this shot, but how does he get in and out of balk? I have to force this. Oh, that's superb. That was brilliant.
13. 14. 19. 20.
Yeah, because the table's so nice and fast and reactive, you don't mind this sort of break up for blue all the time. He's not even really interested in the pink yet.
25.
This is one of these nice and punchy up for blue, but just overplay it a fraction. Yeah, I didn't
26.
quite deliver properly through that, so in and out of balk again.
$31. $32. 37.
Yeah, this time he can play for pink. It'll be the pink spot in the open now. Oh, did he take his eye off the pot? Yeah,
David
right.
Gilbert,
I think he's got the
37.
cover. But I think just positionally, and his bridge hand was compromised a tad, it probably just put him off.
Problem was, it wasn't hanging in the jewels. It wasn't any contact will do. Red just slightly away from the pocket. Caught it on the thin side and left it. So this is exact opposite of the start that Selby was looking for. He's had no looking at all really yet.
One.
Chance now to see Dave's cue power. He's not one of the out and out power merchants of the tour, but in this cloth he should be able to get the cue ball back up table. You would almost play this, almost trying to go in off in the left middle. I think that's a nice way to play this. See? Almost play it to go in off in the left middle. Any side of
7.
the middle pocket, you're going to be alright on something. Good shot.
Twelve. Thirteen.
Yeah, points wise, the blue's actually the shot here, isn't it? He wants to play the blue. There's 58 in front, yellow 60, still needs red, pink to leave 67. So this is why this is the correct shot. It's a scoreboard shot, this one.
18. Nineteen.
So blue to leave Mark Selby requiring a snooker. Mark Selby is almost a spectator in this match.
$24. 25.
Dream start. He's looking really good in all areas. Selby has not had any clear-cut chances. And this is a short match, so the next frame is huge for Mark Selby.
30.
Just getting in is the problem, though. He's got to get in initially. I'm sure if he does, of course, you'd back him to make breaks.
31.
But David Gilbert has been very efficient in keeping him out.
38.
Yeah, he said, didn't he, if I can play well for an hour,
39.
every chance of winning this best of 7. Well, they've been out there, it's been about 33 minutes or thereabouts of live play. So halfway there.
$43.
Yeah,
44.
Has long since won, but you just see the self-belief in Dave Gilbert now. You can see the confidence, positivity, and more to the point, Mark Selby can see it from his chair, and he must be concerned.
49. $50.
I've often said about when spectators come and watch these guys play, especially on these kind of conditions where they're really nice, if you want to come and
57.
watch someone, come and watch Dave Gilbert, you'd be amazed how softly he hits the ball. He just floats through it.
59.
Beautiful through impact. How quiet he hits this type of shot.
62.
Saying, look how quiet, listen how quiet rather, isn't it? But that's the point. He doesn't overhit at anything, and the cue ball makes the journey without a problem.
66.
Playing outstandingly well so far today.
71. $77.
Yeah, looking very, very good in every area. So, 77 the break in frame 2.
77 and the
only
break.
potted one ball. That was after he needed snookers in frame 1. The world champion just cannot get in yet. He's going to have to start soon, otherwise he'll be in serious trouble. It's Gilbert leading 2-0. Well, we might have to send out for a new nickname for Dave Gilbert, the Angry Farmer. No reason to be angry this afternoon. And indeed, we might have to send out for a new one for Mark Selby, because the Jester has not smiled once yet this afternoon. Nothing to smile about. He's 2-0 down.
The third frame.
He's potted one ball.
Dave Gilbert to break.
He's barely seen anything. And he's playing someone at the top of his game, feeling very confident. So this is a big frame, this third one. Gilbert can win it. 3-0 and a best of 7. You fancy him strongly. But what he knows, and what everyone knows, is that in adversity, that's where Mark Selby comes alive. And this isn't the best break-off shot from Gilbert. Well, it was a chance, but not to be. Yeah, that was clever use of the extension, wasn't it? The fact that he didn't have to do an awful lot with a cue ball made it far easier. Now, one good positional shot.
Fine. Six. $11.
Yeah, another good sign there. Quite happy to leave the long blue.
Dave's doing Movember for cancer research, hence the tash. Very down-to-earth character. He doesn't sort of big himself up at all. Quite the opposite, actually. He's very
90.
self-deprecating. When he won that Championship League, all these social media
20.
pictures for the next week involved the trophy in various settings. Didn't let it out of his sight.
$27. $28.
This is not bad at all. Should get nice above the blue line.
$36.
Let's try and catch this pink about 11 o'clock. I
41.
suppose 12 will do. 41 to the good. A little bit awkward here. Just wants to pay attention to this one. Automatically on blue. They're all waiting. Dave. Little bit of movement there.
David Gilbert,
detected
41.
just on impact.
Well, that's one to make a note of, I think. Biggest mistake so far. And the best chance for Selby so far, really, to get in and get involved in this match.
One.
So at long last, he's in. Black's available, red's available. He knows he's going to have to put something together here. Decided, I think understandably after his world title success, to take a bit of a break. Didn't play Championship League, which was in Leicester. And that didn't do much practice for the British Open. He lost second round there to Ali Carter. Since then, a couple of last 16s, and he's qualified for Germany. So he's not played that much so far this season, but of course this is now a very busy period. I say he took a break. I mean, Mark Selby can't switch off from snooker, and even at Championship League, I was commentating on it. He was messaging me about various matches, so he was keeping an eye on it all because he just loves it.
$17.
Understandably, he's not quite in stroke
24.
yet.
$25. $27.
Played that extraordinary match last year, didn't he, with Neil Robertson in the semis. 6 centuries, 3 each. Robertson won 6-5, one of the great matches in any tournament.
$28.
He's looking for a half-ball cannon. Ah, great shot. Very good. It's a couple of nice shots. That
35.
yellow previously was nice, and that black too, just getting into his timing now.
$36. 43. 44.
I'd be over the moon with that one, because now he can pick the high
51.
black wherever he wants almost. Play in behind the red. He's got a choice here coming up. Does he play in behind the red or play for it into that right corner? Cue ball around where his elbow is right now.
$52.
Would suggest the latter. Just about where his head position is. Yeah. You see, playing it that way, you're guaranteed a shot at it. It's not a certainty, far from it.
59.
Virtual frame ball, you would think.
Good. 60.
He needs black and yellow. First real proper scoring chance he's had. We take out that red right at the start of the frame. And it all came from a David Gilbert miss. And you do see players going so
67.
well, and suddenly one shot can turn a whole match. Mark Selby was basically a spectator before that happened. Oh, and the yellow has stayed out, so it's not over yet, this frame. Amazing.
Mark Selby, 67.
Just needed that.
This is the choice you make. You can't blame him, because he doesn't want to be messing around for 5 minutes with Dave trying to get fouls from him. But the flip side of that is, if you say to Mark, just stun that in and leave the cue ball in the baulk cushion, it's a certainty. But it's just not the modern way. You want to
2.
make it a clean kill.
Another twist then. Pink looking like the key ball now.
Five.
Yeah, this really would be one against the head, because
9.
very seldom you get a top player make that kind of error that Mark has just made on yellow. Here it is again. I say, just stun it in, cue ball in the baulk cushion. It's guaranteed. I'm not saying that's what he should have done. Now, he's got a nice angle here if he wants to play a cannon on the pink. It looks good. But does he feel he wants to gamble and trust to luck? He's gambled. Pretty good.
14.
Well, he was convinced he'd thrown the frame away, and it looked for all the world that he had done.
20.
He knew. I was watching his face. He knew exactly where that was going to finish. Kewell, of course, had to travel up and down a long distance. Well, how do you like this for the frame? What a frame of snooker. And it ends with the black over the pocket for Mark Selby.
Mark Selby, 7 on the frame.
So relieved. He looked like he had it won. He looked like he'd lost it. In the end, he had the black over the pocket. Dramatic stuff here. Dave Gilbert made such a good start, but his lead is cut to 2-1. Well, extraordinary stuff there in frame 3. We talk about a roller coaster ride of emotions for both players, particularly Dave Gilbert. Mark Selby, this was frame ball, playing for green to try and, as Alan said, kill it off. Eventually, Dave Gilbert had the black, but got up and down the table off the pink, left himself a horrible cutback, and Mark Selby was never going to miss that.
Mark Selby, 7
Gilbert initially had missed the red as well, but he was nicely in. So this is now a test for him. He's played well so far, but it's getting that out of his mind, and that's easier said than done, to say the least. It's 2-1.
The 4th frame.
Mark Selby
Mark
on the
to break.
scoreboard just about. There's two things about that last frame. One is what it's done to the scoreline, and two, what it's done to the psychology, and obviously Gilbert is feeling the worst of the two now, and that's a mistake. But so's that.
Yeah, fortunately for Mark, he's got away with that red coming back up table. But yeah, it's the way these matches tend to go. At some stage you're going to have to answer a question or two. Mark just about answered in the last frame. Now it's Dave's turn. He's the one under the cosh. It's important, I think, for Dave here that he refused a red off Mark's break that I expected him to go for. I think he's just battening down the hatches for a few shots. It's not a bad ploy. He doesn't want to show Mark any weakness the next few minutes.
This, though, is why you have to admire the likes of Mark Selby and the multiple world champions, because you've seen there in one frame the roller coaster of emotions. Imagine that over 17 days, all the long session matches, the overnight positions you have to think about. So for Selby to have won that 4 times so far is incredible, really. The amount of mental fortitude it takes, never mind playing good snooker as well.
Well played, good defensive shot. Yeah, 4 of the last 8 world titles, eh? Not bad. Yeah, it's a mini risk, this. Spreading a few reds around. There's a little almost conversation going on between the two of them out there, although it's silent. It's Dave, as I say, just saying to Mark, no, I'm not going to dive in at the first look. I'm going to hang with you, hang tough for a few shots. You don't need to be a genius to know that Mark Selby's going to do that as a rule anyway. It's an important passage of play going on.
Young Mr. Snooker enjoying this? David Gilbert not enjoying that.
Remember earlier in this match I said about the thin safety shot and Mark doesn't entertain it and Dave's just Well, he's fallen into the trap. Anything but thick with that sort of shot.
One. Four.
Really unusual the way he played that. I know what he'd like to play is the cannon on the red by the black, but that is extremely risky given that the red itself is very missable.
Five.
Yeah, just going to have to pick a spot here, and tight in behind brown or green's too difficult. The reds are too wide a target, aren't they? Try and cover the red on the right side of the table with the brown, perhaps. No, I couldn't manage it.
Mark Selby, 5.
They'll be disappointed with that. Bad shot off the green. I don't think Dave will be catching this one thick.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby, 4.
Free ball,
Free ball.
which is not really any use to him, but he'll be putting Dave back in.
From there.
Judgment all around from Gilbert. But it's just a sense now that he's the one on the back foot, and he had Selby there for a good 2.5 frames. Missed that red on 41, didn't he, in the last frame? That's what turned things. Although he did have another chance after that, of course. Remember, Sean Murphy and Yan Bingtao are the other two players in this group, and they'll be up after this match.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby, 4. Back. Off your chalk mark there, Dave, right?
Yeah, Paul Collier, excellent referee. He will have known when Dave's playing that. There's every chance that he'd miss it altogether. He knew exactly where the cue ball was. This is the last chance then to clip this, because he won't be playing it a third time.
Foul. And a miss.
Not thin anyway.
Mark Selby 4. Back. Okay. Got to warn you, if I have to call a miss this time, you lose the frame, okay?
It just illustrates the way that things have turned round. Gilbert was a ball away from leading 3-0. Now he's a ball away from it being 2 each.
Wow. Mark Selby 4.
I'm not saying he played the in-off, but he would have been satisfied in the knowledge that it could have happened, and it obviously has. He'll be quite pleased with that, actually.
So, this is now a scoring chance for Gilbert. He's got to just try and just focus on what's ahead of him. What's happened has happened.
One.
He's played the better snooker of the two, no doubt about it, so far.
Eight. Nine. $16. $17.
And the problem with this thin black now, it's self-inflicted pressure. Should get it, but it should have been a lot easier than this.
$24. $25.
Yeah, an important visit this. If you can make something from it, then all is well again. But there's a real edge of tension in the room now. There was all serenity, wasn't it, about 20 minutes ago, from Gilbert's perspective. On our stats, he's 10% up on the pot success, 92 plus
31.
82%. So tells you that, you know, he's playing the better snooker overall. But it's the odd one you miss that can make the big difference. We saw that in the last frame.
$32.
More self-inflicted pressure. Shouldn't have been messing at all with that red that he cannoned.
36.
Just needs to settle in here and play one good positional shot. He's sort of playing a little bit of worry at the back of his mind here. He got to show Mark that he's not going to wilt. Now that he is, as David said, the one that's under it a bit. A big shot this. Pot not a problem. Yeah, played it nicely. Good recovery.
37. $44. $45.
Might be worth playing the deep screw on and off the cushion, because he's got that red near the green. No, he's not playing it. He's just going to stun the cue ball and settle for a thin red. Now, he missed this earlier. This was the one, wasn't it, when Dave said 2-0 in front and 41 to the good. Missed
51.
it thick.
$52.
Well, it's been an adventurous break. There's still work to do here as well. If he's going to win the frame, he needs 3 reds here.
$55. $56.
Yeah, let's see if he can just hold
62.
this. He's going to be top side of straight in the pink to right corner. See if he can hold it. Just dropping it in dead weight. Yeah, not bad. The blue's going
63.
to hamper him, maybe. Don't take your eye off the pot. And hopefully judge the cannon.
$69.
More than handy lead though, isn't it? 48 to the good. Black pretty much tied up.
Dave Gilbert, 69.
Pretty good effort, that 69 from Gilbert. The cannon had come off. I'm sure he would have gone on to win the frame. As Alan says, though, good lead, 48 with 51. on. Put that black not in an ideal spot for Selby.
Even for him, this is an awful situation. Red's up table. Pot no good to him. Of course, anything he leaves Dave, any sort of shot to nothing. Exactly what Dave would be looking for. He's just got to try and find a way to stop Dave from potting a red for the next 2 or 3 shots, but the devil's own job, that one, the way they are.
Wow.
Oh no. Well, now he needs a snooker. Incredible.
Dave Gilbert 4.
Funny old game, isn't it? Of all the things to happen, he knocks the yellow in. I say funny, he's not laughing. He's in trouble now. He thought maybe winning that last frame could have turned the tide, but Gilbert put together a good break. And as you see, Selby needs a snooker. I think if Gilbert were to lose this frame, he'd never forgive himself because he's holding all the cards here. The balls are, but I suppose if anyone could win a frame like this, it's the man at the table. Well, does the black pass the brown? That's what he's looking at, because the black's become free. That's going to help Selby. Yeah, so suddenly things have just opened up a little bit.
One.
Yeah, just about goes, you would think. But yeah, pink's a shot, because you can't see the brown coming away from the pocket. You get on the next red. This doesn't make any real material difference. Oh, well, it's gone now.
Mark Selby, one frame conceded. Frame Dave Gilbert.
That was very unexpected. There's just a glimmer there for Selby, but he misses the pink. So Dave Gilbert wins a 28-minute frame, and he's one from victory. Selby, the world champion, the world number one, in big trouble here. He's trailing by 3 frames to 1.
More great drop.
So Dave Gilbert on the brink here, leading 3-1 against Mark Selby. Selby there trying to get into a position to play for the snooker, but he had to pop this. His mind must have been on other things here. Just completely took his eye off the pot and wasn't happy. Conceded. Not been his afternoon, despite winning that black ball frame, the third. Dave Gilbert made that good 69 break in the fourth. So it's 3-1 to Gilbert. He needs one more.
Okay, when you're ready. The 5th frame. Dave Gilbert to break.
Mark Selby's pot success is at 77%. He's going to have to go up, clearly, to win this match. Even the substantial break he made, that 67 in frame 3, that wasn't a frame-winning break because, of course, he missed the yellow.
Can't see a good safety shot. Taking this on. Oh yes, what a shot!
One.
Well, if that doesn't make the hot shots, we're all in trouble.
Beautiful cueing from Gilbert. What a shot. So he's in the frame he needs to win the match.
And you never know when the winning line approaches, but he's won a shed load of matches this season, 23 all in. So he's well used to getting across the winning line. I know that's still quite far away, but a decent opportunity to build at least a good lead.
Nine.
Amazing, isn't it? You see the initial
David
red
Gilbert,
go in,
9.
and then he misses that one. Whether he just took it for granted, I don't know, but he's missed it. That's the important thing, and he's given Selby an opening.
One.
The one player in this sport of ours you don't want to offer any encouragement
8.
is Mark.
Nine.
There's the total
16.
points. Gilbert effectively 3 times as many, but the match isn't over yet. The one thing you know is Selby, he will approach every frame the same way, whether he's 8-0 up or 8-0 down, whether he's playing brilliantly or whether he's struggling. He's going to give it 100%, and he knows this is a chance to punish. Just plant that seed of doubt in Gilbert's mind after his miss.
17.
And he knows it. That's the point. Sat in his chair, he knows it all too well.
Talking of hot shots, get a load of that one.
24.
Red's in the open now. And as we know, he's no stranger to rearguard
25.
actions. I mean, 2 of those world finals he trailed something like 10-4, 10-5. And there's an art that not that many players excel at when you're maybe struggling a wee bit in a match, to be able to turn it on to order. Mark seems to be able to do that more than anyone else in the game.
32. $33.
Just over egged the pudding. Back for blue there, so yeah, yellow. At least he can play for 2 reds, possibly even 3. Just come through the gap of blue and pink there with the cue ball, and he should be okay.
$35. $36.
It's one of those cannons you want to play into the 4 reds because you feel that it's virtually impossible not to be on one, but you just never know. I think he's got to play it though. Just a steady pace. That'll do nicely.
41. $42. $49.
Well, this is classic Selby, really. I mean, the way that last frame ended when he missed that pink and conceded in rather tetchy fashion, you think that could be curtains for him, but not a bit of it. He's seizing on this chance that he's been thrown by Gilbert's miss to this pocket.
$50. $56.
Ah, that's outstanding. Right in the heart of the pocket.
57.
And that should seal frame 5.
Yeah, he's done what he had to do, which is punish the Gilbert error.
62.
It was an unexpected one.
$63.
So one snooker needed, but if the black goes in, then it's surely 3-2. I think the worst sight for an opponent in snooker is Mark Selby on the comeback trail.
70.
Gilbert has seen it all before, and that's why he'll be ruining that miss, opening the door for the world champion.
71. $78. 79.
Just overcut that. But
Mark Selby, 79 on the
it's his
frame.
highest break of the day, and it's come crucially from a Dave Gilbert miss. He was in first with a chance, didn't make too much. Selby dived on the opportunity, and he trails 3-2.
More great drama. That's a big tick from me.
So are we going to have our first decider of the week? Mark Selby hopes so. He trails 3-2. It was 3-1. Made 79 there, his highest break so far this afternoon, to pull one back.
Frame 6. Mark Selby to break.
Gilbert's still in front, of course, but what he saw in the last frame was one mistake cost him the frame, which means potentially two more mistakes could cost him the match. So when you put it that way, the pressure's on him.
Yeah, might be too difficult to resist the temptation this time. Can't blame him for hedging his bets, needs a little bit of help. That's not bad. But as ever, where there's a will, and it's an iron will, there's usually a way. There shouldn't be a problem into the edge of the bunch here. Oh, needs this to pull up. Yeah, just about. I think the mode that Dave's in right now is the fact that he had a good chance and messed it up in the previous frame. He's now in a sort of mode where he's playing sort of protection snooker in some way. And that, in turn, obviously plays into Mark's hands. Although this is perhaps an opportunity to maybe grasp the initiative. Almost playing a cannon on the brown and hope to slip either side of it. That'll do. Good shot. He's just thinking about side cushion, the shot that Dave played a minute ago, but the red that's below the bunch I think goes to left corner, doesn't it? He's looking at it now, it's a wee bit dangerous. So it's the deep screw, I think, on this lone red.
One.
Oh no. You can't pot that, surely not. What? It didn't touch the sides.
This is the thing with Selby, there's so many sides to his game. You know, he's often talked about as being tenacious and gritty and all the rest of it, which he is, but he can knock balls like that in, he can fashion chances out of nowhere. Of course he can make the breaks as well. And maybe most importantly of all, he can stand up to it when the pressure's really on. So he's forced his way into the frame. First couple of frames he couldn't get in at all. Could not see a ball. Forced his way in here. And the tide, you just feel he's starting to turn in his favour.
$13.
I think he's just watching Dave Gilbert. I think he's sitting in his chair. He's still thinking, how did he pot that red? See that he's got the little sort of grin on his face. He's thinking that was not possible. But that's what the great champions do, isn't it? They seem to make miracles happen when the chips are down.
20. $21.
Well, as you said, Gilbert, before the match said if I can play my best for an hour, I can win. Well, we've been going an hour and 40 minutes. So the back end of the match, Mark Selby starting to look the stronger.
$26.
Yes, as ever, he played for a couple of reds. He wants the one in the open to corner, but it is pretty tight. It's not so bad if he was straight on it. Punch it in the left half of the pocket, as we see it from here. Not a certainty.
$27.
Oh, that was a beauty. What a piece of ball striking that was. The old 3 red flat-sided pack there.
34.
Difficult to get the cue ball working through them. He decided to go into the side of them and arc round them. The miracles continue to happen, and if this red goes in, you'd expect him to be decent on a colour. Oh, lovely.
35.
Seems to do this so often, doesn't he, in adversity. First ranking title he won, Welsh Open. 2008 he was 8-5 down to Ronnie O'Sullivan. Won the last 4 frames there, and he's made a habit of that sort of thing over the years. But it's not just winning the frames, it's how he's doing it, getting in with that wonder red, and so far anyway, controlling things really well.
$41.
I'm not so sure there'd even be any point in asking these guys how they do some of the stuff that they do. Adversity. They probably wouldn't be able to tell you, but just it's an inbuilt ability that these guys seem to have. But time and again, they produce when they absolutely have to.
48.
Yeah, it seems to me that Mark Selby has an inbuilt survival instinct, which I think is linked to a tough upbringing when things were difficult, and snooker was a salvation for him. I'd never say die attitude once again coming to the fore. The ability to just improve. I mean, early on he was shut out. The frame that he won, frame 3, fell over the line on.
55.
He did the black over the pocket, but suddenly from 3-1 down, he's starting to play his best stuff.
$56.
Yeah, for anyone that's just stepped in, feast your eyes on this. The opening red of this break. There's the smile from Dave. And this has been the result.
64.
This pink, pretty much frame ball.
Very, very impressive this from Selby. 79 in the last.
70.
Already up to 70 here. We're going to a decider. And if he can make a century,
71.
it will be number 700 for his career. So a landmark for sure. And that's what I was saying, you know, as good a tactician and safety player as he is, it's not all that by any means. It's this. It's getting in and making the break, killing the frames off clinically.
77. $78. $84. $85. $90. Long rest. $91. $96. $97.
So Mark Selby needs this black to become the 6th player to have made 700 centuries in competition. What a player. What a player he is, especially in adversity. At 3-1, Gilbert was a big favourite, but Mark Selby, as ever, has not only dug deep, but he's raised his game. Got in with a wonder red, kept it going.
106.
And he's taking us to one last frame.
$109.
Yeah, and when Dave played a really good safety shot, didn't he, and back to his chair, someone would have told him, you're going to be sitting down for the next 10 minutes or whatever it's been.
113.
He'd have thought, nah, that ain't going to happen. But it has done. What a break.
$118. $124.
Well, just immaculate. Well, a wonderful
Selby,
performance
131 on the
from Mark
frame.
Selby, a total clearance of 131 to emphatically win the 6th frame and take us to a decider. All square in Bolton, 3 frames each. Well, they've been playing Michael Jackson's Beat It between frames, but in fact this is a thriller, isn't it? 3-3, Mark Selby really raising his game to come back. And, well, he has to start favourite, but we'll see. Dave Gilbert played very well in the early part of the match, and this is where his newfound confidence this season is being tested. Not done that much wrong, really, in the last 2 frames, but Selby suddenly come to life. First decider of the week, then. Who's it going to be? Mark Selby and Dave Gilbert for place in tonight's group final. Been a terrific match, this.
The deciding frame. Dave Gilbert to break.
And out of the 7 break-off shots this afternoon, that's the best of them. Getting that red behind the black spot area creates a bit of a problem for Mark. Hence the little tap on the table. Yeah, does have the return up the right wing, round the back of this red. But you'll obviously know that he'd be bound to leave it. Not something I don't think he's going to entertain. As ever though, he's got a plan. Right side cushion. Sorry, left cushion. Into the bunch. Quite a nice target. About 4 reds wide, isn't it, that? So, expect him to be okay. That's gone south a touch. Oh, has he left one? Yes, he has. So, first pop for Dave, and it's a good one.
One.
It shows you the value of a really good break-off shot. That one red that he's playing on perhaps now, the one behind the black spot, created all manner of trouble.
Eight. 9. $16. 17. 24. 25.
No, sir. No, sir, indeed. That's end of break.
32.
Little, perhaps a bit of tension in the arm through impact. Quite get the cue ball releasing. Mark breathes again. The other thing that'll mildly sort of disappoint him is he can't really shove anything safe. Oh, that's just a bit risky. I think he's just more trying to convince himself that that's on. Red to the far left corner. Alright, it's possible, but given the circumstances, I think it's just asking a wee bit too much. Yeah, he's got to deal with the red on the right half, the right wing. Get rid of that and somehow find a safe spot.
Dave Gilbert, 32.
Well, the tired old cliche about deciders is that all you want is a chance. He had one there, but it ended on 32.
That same red that Dave was concerned about, the one nearest the right corners. The one giving Mark a bit of an issue. That's why he's thinking about even the cue ball on this cushion. Oh, every
One.
credit for knocking it in. What a pot. Gee whiz, there's almost nothing to aim at.
Mark Selby 1.
Not straightforward. Once obviously the low half of this bunch. Red nearest the black, that's the nestled cannon. Too high. But he's okay. I think I just noticed the red to the right and below the cue ball, and the other red I think are a plant to right corner. I'm not saying on this shot, but it's something that Mark's got to, well, he will be aware of it, you can guarantee that, but I think there they are there. It's not dead set, but that's why he feels he's got to deal with it right now. Take it out of the frame. Bit of a standoff, the passage of play there, wasn't it? Almost to see who would blink first. It's Dave, so he's made the first positive move. Mark's got to follow it. Target in behind green, perhaps. That's where the cover is. Oh, now then. Oh, the yellow's going to hamper the bridging. Well, the cueing more than anything. He does have an alternative shot to nothing. That's awkward. Potted this very early in the match, exact same shot, but the cueing did for him. Wasn't easy. Chance Selby.
Yeah, first real chance. He did pop that red earlier to the middle, but didn't get any position.
One.
You said right at the start of the day what a tough group this is, and it's been proven in
7.
this first match. Sean Murphy and Yan Bingtao still to come.
Eight.
A gentleman in the crowd there just decided to stand up at the wrong time, but Mark did the correct thing. Reset.
To the team. $14.
And that was the positional shot that he's been looking for. Tough times.
Yeah, the real problem is he played well today, particularly early on in the match. He was looking really good. Just a slight slip up in frame 5, let Selby
90.
in. Selby forced his way in frame 6. Gilbert had the early chance in this frame, but, well, you literally can't watch.
20.
Because he knows Mark Selby very well. They practice together. And even though he's got to retain hope of coming back to the table, you can sort of tell he's expecting Selby to win it here.
That's good work, Dave. Every credit. Steeling himself should the opportunity present itself. You just never know.
$26. $27.
Boy, the Iron Man cometh again. How does he do it? We shouldn't really be surprised, but every time he does, you just think,
34.
"Wait, done it again." Not there yet, but looking very good.
Yeah, and he's not just coming back, it's the ability to raise his game, to clear his mind, suddenly plays best snooker when the heat's on.
$35.
There's a fella upstairs in the green room that had a similar look to this when he was in his pomp. When the
42.
pressure bites the hardest, that's when they look like missing the least. It's an incredible asset to have.
43.
But Mark Selby's got it, and he's got it in abundance.
Dave Gilbert, remember, could have been 3-0 up. Selby missed frame ball yellow. Gilbert
50.
set about the clearance, went up and down off the pink, left himself a nasty cutback black, which he left in the jaws of this pocket. But even then, he played a good fourth frame to lead 3-1.
51.
Yeah, clever. Just get rid of the pink. Just dispatch it up table.
57.
Still needs both reds. Is ideally anything but straight in the black.
$58.
And that's pretty good.
So we've arrived at match ball. What a rearguard action it's
65.
been from the world champion, from 3-1 down. And that's still brinkmanship. Has done it
66.
again. And he's done it in style. Gilbert played well, very well, to lead 3-1. Mark Selby made breaks of 79, 131, his 700th career century. And finally this 72.
Mark Selby, 72.
So from 3-1 down,
Frame on the match.
Mark Selby, the world champion, the world number one, once again